So for more, let's bring in NewsNation legal analyst Jesse Weber. Jesse, thank you for being here. So it took the jury less than 24 hours to convict Perry of murder. Why do you believe Governor Abbott is confident he should be pardoned?
Well, look, no matter how long the jury deliberated, I think this was a tough case, and it's split on legal and political lines. Now, I'll tell you, as somebody who respects the jury's decision in any case, you don't have to agree with it, but I think you have to respect it. Now, that doesn't mean we run into situations where governors or even the president of the United States decides that just because the jury came back with the decision, that perhaps justice can't be served another way. So while it would be the legal prerogative of the governor, upon a recommendation of the actual Board of Pardons and Paroles, to say that we recommend a pardon or perhaps clemency for Mr. Perry, and the governor would sign it into it, you know, we still have to remember that this is the authority of the governor to do this. Ultimately, is it the right decision? Remember, this is a controversial case. Put aside the whole legal aspect of self-defense or not. There were criticisms levied against the local prosecutor, the local DA here, that, you know, that he did this for political reasons. The lead investigator in this case took the stand and said he found it very odd that in all the cases he's ever been a part of, he wasn't asked to testify for the prosecution. He also accused the DA of withholding information that would have helped Sergeant Perry from the grand jury. So this is not really a black and white case. I think it's more complicated than it might suggest on the outset.
Okay, really interesting. And we want to get into that potential politicization of this case. But first, big picture, the jury found Perry not guilty of aggravated assault despite convicting him of murder. So what could that mean, Jesse, for a potential pardon here?
So, look, there are guidelines that the board can ultimately follow, but there's not a strict threshold that they have to meet. There are times that murders and these very serious offenses are actually end in a pardon or clemency of some sort. I'll tell you, I think the aggravated assault was interesting because that was related to a spectator that day. The jury didn't feel that he was deliberately aiming his car at this spectator. They did find him guilty of murder. That signifies to me that this is a jury that took this very seriously and carefully evaluated the evidence. And it becomes a question, do you want to overturn that result? And look, I think that there's an interesting question. You could say it's all politics, but this was presented to a jury, and 12 jurors came back with a unanimous verdict. That says something right there. And so it's interesting on political lines. Is this the right thing to do? Because what do you think about Foster's family, who would now maybe have to live with the reality of that this man doesn't get the punishment that they feel he deserves?
Okay, we have about 15 seconds left, Jesse, but I just wanted to ask you this. Do you think this undermines the district attorney's office? And also, what kind of precedent does this set if this pardon is, in fact, to go forward?
Okay, this is very common with what we're seeing across the country. We're seeing it in Georgia. We're seeing it in Florida. There is now oversight over locally elected prosecutors. I have a concern about that. I think that it should land in the voters' hands about whether or not these DAs are doing the job they want them to do. And in a way, it takes away from their authority and independence. And on the other hand, you say, well, should you just have prosecutors doing what they want to do without ultimately any kind of oversight? I say you leave it to the voters to decide. But again, this is just very common, what we're seeing in Texas now happening across the country, this kind of oversight over prosecutors and what they do.
All right, Jesse, always fascinating. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.